I have your national forecast details right now. I'm Victoria Fenn Alvarado. Taking a look at our cross-Canada patterns. Precipitation free up in the north. Meanwhile, across the prairie provinces, we are monitoring some flurries. You are mainly dry on the lower mainland and the south of British Columbia, but on the north, more of a soggy pattern for those. And we are monitoring some flurries and flakes flying across southern Ontario. Now, here's a look at some of your temperatures across the country. Vancouver, a seasonal 7 degrees. Calgary at 3 degrees. Edmonton, 1. Regina, -7 this afternoon. Winnipeg, -9. Thunder Bay sitting at -7. Churchill at -14. Toronto, you're looking at -1 degree this afternoon. Ottawa sitting at -3. And taking a look at your temperatures on the East Coast, quite warm, 2 degrees in Halifax. Now, as we start our forecast here in Atlantic Canada, no precipitation in sight, at least for this weekend. We are monitoring a clipper on the way on Tuesday, so just make sure you stay with us at the Weather Network to keep updated as the days progress. But 1 degree in Halifax on Sunday and just around the freezing mark for your early work week. So quite pleasant conditions. The conditions still remaining quite pleasant for the rest of the week until that clipper arrives, bringing in some snowfall. You see those icons indicating snowfall in St. John's, Newfoundland. Now, as we head to Ontario, we are monitoring some flurries flying across the shores of Lake Huron, Georgian Bay, the Nickel Belt, as well as Cottage Country. This is all overnight on Saturday in through Sunday, even continuing up in Timmins and the Chapleau region on your Monday. Now, that will progress towards the Ottawa region and Montreal by Monday evening. However, not much accumulation. The most accumulation would be along the shores of Georgian Bay, Lake Huron, upwards of 10 centimeters. But as for the GTA, the Golden Horseshoe, just a dusting, 5 centimeters for you. Now, as well as Quebec, you are mainly dry until you get that precipitation in your early work week. Your temperatures, though, those are fairly pleasant. -4 in Ottawa, feeling more like -6. Until we get a nice drop on Wednesday, feeling more like -14. When I say nice, these are nice compared to the last week with those cold extreme temperatures. Speaking of cold extremes, certainly not as cold as you've experienced in the past. Saskatoon sitting at -11, Regina -7, but those winds really helping to keep those temperatures quite warm and moderated. These are downsloping winds, but just do keep in mind that with the wind chill, we're still feeling more like -20 in Saskatoon. But take a look at Wednesday. I want to highlight you are getting up to 3 degrees. That is going to feel like springtime for many of you. Now, we are monitoring some flakes flying, some flurries. You can see flurries on Saturday evening through the overnight in Winnipeg. And we could continue to see some lingering flurries in Alberta along the QE2. Just be aware if you do need to travel. Again, not much accumulation, just about 10 centimeters on the south of Saskatchewan. Medicine Hat, you're looking at about 15 centimeters. That's just because you're in a high elevated or more high elevated area. Now, you are mainly dry on the south of British Columbia, but if you're in Prince Rupert, that's where you could see a bulk of precipitation, above average precipitation this weekend for those there. Here's a look at some of your temperatures across the province of British Columbia. 3 degrees in Vernon, 4 degrees in Kelowna.